Sorry, Gregory. Missouri is no longer a playoff contender.
Oh.
This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Tuscaloosa, internet world. How we doing today? It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. Hope you and yours are doing well. Happy Veterans Day to everyone out there, all the veterans who have served. We want to thank you guys for your service. We appreciate that very, very much. We're live in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios, and your service lets us be here. You can call Derek for all of your insurance needs. You can find us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, the BamaCentral Facebook page. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, really wherever you get your podcasts. You can find the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. Going to have a big day here with Mason Woods. Follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. And, of course, the program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. We appreciate Purple Turtle Roofing for jumping on board. Call them for all of your roofing needs. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we're not just another contractor. We're your neighbor and your advocate when it comes to protecting your home and business. With years of hands-on experience, top-tier certification, and a commitment to excellence, we've built a reputation as Alabama's go-to roofer. Purple Turtle Roofing specializes in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repair, and full-on roof replacements. Call them at 877-PT-ROOF-5. That's 877-787-6635 for all of your needs. So come out and check out your roof today. Purple Turtle Roofing. What are we going to do today with Mason? We're going to get his thoughts on Alabama's basketball game against St. John's. We talked extensively about that yesterday. If you want to hear about 20-25 minutes, we'll start Theo and I doing that, and then we'll get Mason's thoughts on Alabama's win against LSU. Mason was sitting up. Mason had primetime seat, sitting on the 50-yard line. Yeah, so we'll get your thoughts on the football game as well. Basically, Theo and I did an hour 20 yesterday on both the football game and the basketball game. So if you want to hear my thoughts, you can hear it right there. But we'll get Mason's thoughts really to lead off the program, and then we'll start talking about this Alabama-Oklahoma game. We'll talk about some of the things that we discussed in the press room yesterday and some of the things that have popped out just on the initial look through of Oklahoma. So we're excited to do that right here in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. We encourage you to jump in and join us on the voicemail machine. I've got 2 voicemails today. I need to actually go ahead and load those bad boys because we got 2 voicemails today. You can call us at 205-462-7340. Excuse me, 205-462-7340 extension 800 if you want to be involved in the program on the voicemail machine. We'd love to take your call right there and get your thoughts as well. But with all that, Mason, as I load these voicemails, good morning. How we doing? How was the weekend?
It was a great weekend. It was a great weekend. I mean, I don't know really that it could have gone any better.
Because the Titans didn't play.
The Titans didn't play, and the Jets and Saints both won.
Hey.
You are firmly in place for the number 1 overall pick. And a quarterback-needy Jets is there behind you with a plethora of picks to trade right up and go get Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza. Great weekend. Really great. It started, obviously, with the basketball game, and we'll talk about it, maybe, get into more detail, I guess. But that was just electrifying performance from really the entire Alabama basketball team, top to bottom. They played a near-perfect game. They addressed a lot of the issues that I had, raised going into it. A lot of the physicality issues. I thought they overcame some of those. I still have, a little bit of concerns with some individuals here and there, but I think as a team, they were a very, very tough basketball team on Saturday. And then you go into Saturday evening and, had fantastic seats, basically right on the 50-yard line. I think we were row 28.
Woo!
It was great seats. Sat around a few pretty rowdy fans. There was a couple people that gave me some nasty looks, but they can get over it. It was a great weekend.
Was one of those rowdy fans the fan that stormed the field, that got on the field?
No, and I didn't even see that when it happened. I don't know if I was using the bathroom or something. I missed it when it happened.
We were up in the press box, and somebody goes, "Is somebody going on field?"
I saw the angle, the TikTok video of it, of the person filming him as he does it. I don't. What are you thinking?
What are you thinking? And where's the security? Basically, the the person who
out to midfield.
The person who escorted him off the field is an SID. She's great and she's super nice, but she is not in security at all. She works specifically with a lot of the women's programs, and y'all left Jen to go out there and deal with this. What if that guy? Look,
You never know.
We're gonna say the worst, but like, what if that guy just decked her?
Sure,
I was like,
you know,
I wouldn't want that on her. Or
you can never tell what the mindset of someone who thought it was appropriate to run out onto the middle of the field
right
is. Like,
he's just walking out there, arms up, like la di da di da da, and Jen goes out there, and you can see her from the press box going, "What are you doing? Come on, get off the field!" Cha cha cha. And I mean, good for her. Yeah. Security just not doing anything.
Lapse in judgment, I guess.
Oh well, but yeah. So
too busy eating Denny dogs on the sideline.
It was right after halftime, so they may have been having a delivery.
We gotta figure something out with these concession stands. I'll pay any amount of money. I don't care. Charge me $35 for 2 beers. That's fine. But damn it, when we get to halftime and I wait in line for 10 minutes, you better have a hot dog for me when I get up there. Woo! It's halftime. How are we already out? It was insane. It's preposterous. Who was planning? It's the one thing everyone gets. It's the cheapest food item you can get that's like actually real food. What? Like, are you stupid? There were still Chick-fil-A sandwiches, of course. Now, nobody wants to pay $12 for one of those. All I wanted was a dang hot dog. Infuriating. That was upsetting. That was put a bit of a damper on the evening, but it's okay. I got back out there, and I think shortly after, I don't even remember exactly what happened, but it was great. Yeah, it was a fun night, but somebody got to figure that out. That's crazy to run out of hot dogs like at halftime.
Did they have any on the grill or they were out?
I don't know. They say they were out.
Wow.
We got it to the concession stand, and like I said, waited in line for about 10, 15 minutes. Halftime was dwindling down, and I get, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 people away from actually being up there to order, and there's a secondary employee, and he just says, "No hot dogs." It was like, thanks, man.
Oh, that's a heartbreak.
Yeah, it was tough. That was tough.
That's a super heartbreak. Well, Mason, why don't you go right into the basketball game? Alabama goes 103-96 up there at St. John's. We talked extensively about it yesterday. LeBaron Philon with a new career high, two games in, 2 resets of his career high. Monday with 22, Saturday with 25. Well, does that mean you're just going for 27 on Thursday, LeBaron? Well, I mean, let's just keep it going, my man.
Yeah.
But didn't really, I don't think, what we said yesterday, didn't really take over the game into the last maybe a couple of minutes, really asserted himself, but really dominant in the pick and roll and getting things going, battling through a foul disparity that I thought was frankly unfair. What did you think about the basketball game?
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with LeBaron Philon there. Like you said, didn't exactly take over the game until maybe kind of the last few minutes there, but like you felt his presence the entire time, and he was really the engine that made Alabama go. He was so good last year, but he is very much improved this season so far through just obviously 2 games, but I am incredibly impressed with what we've seen from LeBaron Philon. I think he is putting himself out there to maybe be a high-level NBA draft pick, hopefully this time, or not this time next year, when the draft does roll around. And then, outside of him, you had Aiden Holloway add 21. Taylor Ball-Bowen was fantastic, really responded to Nate Oates calling him out, I think. And then I was really impressed with Amari Allen. He continues to be a super good freshman, super physical, really, blue-collar type player. I believe it was him on that about a minute and a half left or so. I think it was LeBaron hits that step back 3. They go back down to the other side of the court. St. John's kind of fumbles their dribble, and there's Amari Allen on the floor to get it to. I think it was Reitzel to hit the and 1 there to go up. I think it was maybe 6 or 7 at the time. And that sequence was incredible. And there was a lot of those throughout the game where Alabama guys were really putting their bodies on the line to go try to get loose balls and things. Overall, I'd still like to see maybe a better defensive performance. I think St. John's was over 1 points per possession. I'm looking at the stats here. That's less than ideal, but I think that was
117.
Yeah, I think
117.
That's just how this game was going to be. I think this was going to be a game where you had to get out and run, and it was going to be whoever can outlast the other one wins it. And Alabama did just that. Wow. I was so impressed with this basketball team. That was a really, really amazing win.
Yeah, yesterday I said since we both picked Alabama to lose, I said I'm happily to wear this crack this egg on my head, NATO's, please.
Yeah, never been happier to be more wrong.
Yeah, you were
54 points in the paint.
21 of 32 from layups or dunks total. So 20. So you obviously want to make a little bit more than that, but getting to the rim 32 different times, 21 fast break points, 14 offensive rebounds, out rebounded St. John's, really, really huge. And to your point about Amari Allen, we didn't really talk about him at all yesterday, but 10 rebounds, 6 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, only 1 turnover, a block, and a steal.
Only 7 turnovers as a team. What about that? Man, are we sure that was Alabama playing on Saturday? Because good Lord. I mean, that's unheard of in this for this program the last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it really was that looked like a Final Four team out there.
Yeah. Indianapolis, get your tickets right now.
Yeah.
And if Alabama's not there, you can sell them. But that win over Saturday, I mean, it's really going to set in on Thursday if Alabama's able to beat Purdue. Really disappointing. First off, disappointing AP poll. Why'd you do this? AP poll, we were going to have number 1 Purdue come into Tuscaloosa. No, we're going to drop them down. Houston is now the new number 1. Purdue is number 2.
Oh, well.
Still a big game. And still an opportunity to prove yourself against the best, the upper echelon of college basketball, especially since Purdue wrecked you last season.
Yeah, you cannot have another game like that. You can't go into this and lose by 15 or 20 here. Really even like 10. You need to, at the bare minimum, be in this game and have it be competitive up until the very end. Ideally, go win the thing.
Lost 87-78 last season. You had LeBaron really was the standout last year. 27 minutes, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists with only 1 turnover against Purdue. You ended up with Mark Sears 15, Latrell 11, Grant with 12. But LeBaron leading all scorers in that category. You only turned the basketball over 8 times against Purdue last season. So maybe you could.
I'm trying to remember exactly what even it was, what it even was in that game. If shots weren't falling,
9 of 29 from the 3-point line. You were 31% right there. You got to the free throw line 15 times, 13 of 15, so pretty good right there. But really, you were 28 of 63 from the floor, so 44%. So not horrible there.
Not winning basketball,
but they went. They went 9 of 16 from the 3-point line. So Alabama shot 31%. Purdue shot 56% from behind the line. They had Taylor Kaufman-Wren, right? He went for 26 points, was dominating in the paint, 1 of 1 from behind the arc. But you had Fletcher Loyer with 17 points, 3 of 5 from behind the arc, and then CJ Cox came in off the bench and went 3 of 3 from behind the line for 11 points. So they shot incredibly well from the floor. 31 of 63 to Alabama's 28 of 63, but they got to the free throw line 10 more times, 16 of 25. Only 3 turnovers for Purdue. 3 turnovers to Alabama's 8 in that game. Yeah, very, very good for them.
I have to imagine you'll get a pretty similar game from Purdue at Coleman Coliseum on Thursday. They're going to play clean.
Yeah, and so I encourage everybody to get into Coleman Coliseum on Thursday.
Braden Smith is averaging 10 assists a game.
He's incredible.
That's crazy.
He's got the ball on a string.
I mean, say what you will about any of the other state, whatever. I mean, he guy's averaging a double-double, but 10 assists specifically is really something.
Yeah, he's a very, very good decision maker. Maybe not. I'm not sure if he's an NBA player, but he is an extremely good college player, and that should be respected. We're going to need to be yelling at him on Thursday, try to force him into some turnovers, try to rattle his cage a little bit. So Alabama beat St. John's 103-96. I don't want to cut you off on any of the Saturday basketball conversation before I ask you football. You good on that, or you got any? I mean,
I gotta say it before we get off the basketball topic. Just one negative from Saturday.
Sure.
Is Aiden Sherrill ever gonna be a tough basketball player? Is he ever going to play up to the size that he possesses? Is he ever going to play up to the potential that he has, the ceiling that he could reach? because he just continues to run through the motions out there and look, like I don't even know, he like a scarecrow just standing there and doing nothing.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, honestly,
frustrating.
he looks like he looks like he's got serious baby deer tendencies.
Yeah, I mean, 4 for 9 from the field, that's great. 9 points, that's awesome. 2 rebounds. You're basically 7 feet tall. You're big. I mean, you're one of the biggest guys on the team besides Noah Williamson, probably. Like,
got to go in there and bang, man. Get some boards.
Golly, yeah, I've been disappointed with him. I had hoped that this season would be a big breakout for him, and there obviously is still a lot of time for that to happen.
No blocks,
but yeah, he's got to be better. He needs that Taylor Bolbowen call out from Nate Oates.
And Bobo,
Bolbowen was awesome,
incredible. You saw exactly why Coach Oates was riding him so hard.
Yeah, you saw what he can do in that game. He was really, really good. He's even making the kind of the national rounds this week. I saw a video of John Rothstein kind of talking about him on his Twitter page and things. So getting his name out there. That could be you, Aiden Sherrill.
Exactly. And Bobowen, I mean, you do this for the next 30 games.
You find yourself in the NBA, big guy.
Very quickly, making lots of money. Yeah, absolutely. So Aiden Sherrill, maybe this could be your chances. And I wonder what this team's going to look like when you add Keaton Bristow and you add Jaleel Hurley, Joe Bethea, Jaleel Hurley. Jaleel Hurley is a basketball player too, right? Jaleel Bethea is going to be back in about January, so mid-January.
Defensive back for Kansas.
All right. Didn't he go to Alabama?
Yeah,
that's why I know his name.
Well, he's from Florence.
Transfer. Right. Yeah. That's why I know his name. That's why it came to mind. I was like, why did that name come to my tongue?
1 year at Alabama.
So we'll see what happens going forward. We'll see what happens on Thursday. But I agree with you. You got to get more from your bigs. Bobowen was outstanding. Aiden Sherrill and Noah Williamson, not so much.
Take some of Aiden Sherrill's minutes away and give them to Amari Allen.
Yeah.
I know it's not a 1-for-1 comparison there size-wise, but Amari Allen plays above the size he is.
Let's get what I said yesterday, Mason, was I think that what you have to hope for is that you get Collins Onyeka comfortable.
Yeah.
And in he obviously he'll 0 points, 1 rebound, two a turnover and 2 fouls. Not really that great minutes in 4 minutes, but I think that the clay is there. There's a lot of clay right there that just needs to be shaped a little. Exactly. And I think he might become a nice little big man piece. So we'll see what happens on Thursday. All right.
You just need one of those forces inside.
Somehow help.
I said that they played like a Final Four team on Saturday, but they will not make it to the Final Four unless someone emerges there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so into the night, as Alabama has already gotten a huge basketball win, everybody pours into Bryant-Denny Stadium, and Alabama puts on a lackluster 20-9 win. I mean, defense
was stout.
What'd you think? Alabama beats LSU. Your whole kind of reaction, your whole kind of experience outside of the concession stand. Come on, Greg Byrne. We got to get more hot dogs in there.
Come on. Defense. I'll start with the defense. Defense was great. I don't really have any complaints on the defense. I think. I really thought top to bottom they played pretty fantastic. You got great pressure. You got some sacks. You got Garrett Nussmeier off his spot, like we kind of talked about going into the game. You literally forced them to bench Garrett Nussmeier.
LT got a sack.
Yeah, LT got him a sack. It was a really, really good, from the entire unit, defensive backs, linebackers, safeties, defensive linemen, edge rush. Everybody played really well on Saturday, I thought. And the offense was lackluster. That's probably a good way to put it. I don't think the offense was gouging my eyes out, throwing up in my mouth bad or anything. We've seen the Alabama offense look worse before. I don't know about this season, maybe, but it was not a great game. It was a C performance from the offense, probably, which is a little concerning because it seems like we've gotten 2 or 3 C performances from the offense in a row now. And Oklahoma's a good football team. Oklahoma is a good. I feel like Alabama got through that stretch of games there where you played the 4 ranked teams in a row, and then it's kind of like we forgot that Oklahoma's sitting there on the back end of the schedule waiting for you. And here they are. It's still a very good football team. I know they lost to Texas. I know they've lost to what was their other loss? Didn't they lose another one?
Yeah, they did.
I can't remember who it was to now. But regardless,
Ole Miss.
Yep, that's right. They bring a talented football team in that will be very hungry, that will be looking to extend their win streak over Alabama after a painful game last season. I hope that what Kalen DeBoer said yesterday is reigning true, where the players need to be remembering what happened in last year's game. But we will just see. Yeah. I don't know what to make of the offense really, though. It doesn't seem like you can connect on deep balls all that well right now. You did have the one I think Ty connected on. I don't know, now I can't remember who caught it.
Lazier Brooks.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you had that one. But yeah, it just kind of felt like it was pulling teeth to move the ball on Saturday night, and it probably all just continues to go back to the run game.
Was that pulling teeth because Alabama bad or because LSU good?
Probably a little bit of both. I think it's maybe a little bit of both. I do think LSU has a lot of talent on that defense, and they were playing with a new sense of whatever you want to call it, with Brian Kelly being gone now, Frank Wilson taking over. There's a little bit of juice about the team, so you going into a hostile road environment, you had some motivations. Like, I get that LSU is still a talented football team, but you still didn't run the ball well. Still can't run the ball
56 yards on the ground.
And that
56 yards.
That's where it all starts. If you can't set up a run game, you can't force a pass game.
56 yards on the ground with, 34, add 5 more, 39 coming from running backs because Kevin Riley got himself a carry as well. You had, 8 and 8, 16 carries, 39 yards on the ground for the running backs.
I mean, that's atrocious. Yeah. I think it continues to be an issue of a lack of quickness, a lack of athleticism along the offensive line. Guys aren't able to get out and move people around like they need to in the run game.
2.4 yards per carry by the tailbacks.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix it at this point. You heard Ty Simpson say, "Oh, it's all a mental thing," and then you heard Ryan Grubb say, "I don't think it's a mental thing." I tend to agree with Ryan Grubb.
I do too.
But we will just have to see. I don't know how you fix it at this point. We have talked about it endlessly for 11 weeks now, 10 weeks now, whatever it's been.
Is it time to take the shackles off AK Deer?
It's not going to do anything. Can't run behind a terrible offensive line.
Maybe he's more explosive through the hole.
Barry Sanders back there, and it's not going to change anything.
That's what I suggested yesterday. Was like, do you go to AK? Are you just trying to live to the amount of time in the schedule to where AK Deer's red shirt doesn't matter?
Maybe. Oh man, I don't know. I don't think that you are a running back away from fixing this running game problem. You are offensive lineman away.
You're 25 pounds away from fixing it inside your offensive line. Just slim down about 30 pounds,
40 pounds across the whole unit.
Oh my gosh, just drives me nuts. I don't understand why the pad level has been allowed to be so bad all year long.
I don't know, and I feel like you see this. It's almost. I don't think it's just an Alabama issue. I feel like it's a football as a whole issue where offensive line play has taken a significant dip the last, 10 years or so, maybe.
Once you gave them NIL money, they can go to Wendy's, they can go to McDonald's.
But yeah, nobody wants to get low anymore. It's all about what's your kick step? Let's play patty cake up here, and I'll keep you from getting to my quarterback. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and tell Caden Proctor he's not a dog to his face, but I haven't seen him be a dog this year.
Yeah, I want to see the left side of the line just collapse down because he's down blocking somebdy. So
I just don't understand how you can be so big and not be able to move people around.
Mm-hmm. Because you're not playing through your hips.
Has no leverage.
Right. Not playing through your hips. Just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Ty Simpson. Give us a grade here because, no running game, as you said, but did miss several deep shots. 1 of 4 on passes beyond 30 yards.
Some deep throws. I thought he was good, though. I'd give him a B+ for this game, I think. He works his way into an A if he hit a couple more of those deep throws, probably. But he was not an issue, really, in this football game. I think he made the offense go in spite of it struggling. Like, he made things happen because the run game couldn't get anything going. So it was like, all right, Ty, it's up to you, buddy. And he did it. He got you what you needed to win this football game.
I'm with you there. So I don't want to cut you off on the football either, but you keep going.
Well, that's just really I guess we can take some solace in that this team does have that luxury this year where you have a quarterback like that and you have wide receivers like that where we've seen, up to this point, you've been able to, all right, we can't run the ball. Figure it out, Ty. Go figure it out, Jeremy. Go figure it out, Ryan, Isaiah, Lazier. I shudder at the day when a team will come into wherever you play them, whether it's Atlanta, whether it's further down the road, whether it's Bryant-Denny Stadium in a home playoff game or something, and they truly, have the ability to test Ty Simpson and get a lot of pressure on him and lock up your receivers, because I don't know who you turn to after that.
43 passes against Florida State, 43 passes against South Carolina. Those are your high marks for Ty Simpson. Does he get to 50? Does he get to 50 against Oklahoma? 50 passes, because, oh boy, we can't run the ball at all.
No, I don't think so. But he's going to be right up there again. I mean, he'll be right in that 42 to 45 range probably, because he's going to have to throw the ball a ton. I don't know that Oklahoma has exactly the same kind of dynamic pass rushers that a South Carolina had. They do, I think, have better players than Florida State had. That game continues to just be a weird. I mean, they laid all their cards on the table and just completely collapsed after at Florida State. So good on them. Never seen a team that's more of a front runner than that. That's crazy. But yeah, I don't know that Oklahoma has exactly the same. So, I don't know that they'll be able to get after Ty quite as much as, or be able to not even get after Ty, but just like slow the offense down quite as much as South Carolina was, where you're just constantly in the backfield, like every play it felt like. So yeah, I definitely see a 40+ day for Ty, but maybe not quite 50.
Well, we're gonna find out on Saturday. He went 277 and one touchdown.
I say that. I say all of that. Like, I'm still confident that you win that game, even if Ty's doing that, because he's that good this year. Has been that good this year. The receivers have been that good this year. The offensive line has been good enough at pass blocking this year to let you make those things happen.
Yeah, I just don't know that 20 points is 20 points going to be enough to take down Oklahoma. I mean, it might. I mean, if your defense is playing that way, you don't give up any touchdowns at all, they score 33 at Tennessee, 26 at home against Ole Miss. They beat South Carolina 26-7. Texas held them to 6 points right there in the Cotton Bowl.
That was a weird one.
44 points against Kent State. They scored 24 against the Auburn Tigers, 42 against Temple, 24 against Michigan, and 35 against Illinois State.
Yeah. I don't think you're I don't think you're holding this Oklahoma team to 9 points.
17.
Yeah, that's probably about where you need to aim. I don't even know if you're going to be able to do that. I think Alabama, the offense, you're going to need to score a couple more times than you did on Saturday, this previous Saturday night. But I still feel good. I think Ty and these wide receivers and the way the offensive line can pass block are good enough to win football games still, regardless of how bad the run game is. I don't know that they can win football games against an Ohio State, but Oklahoma, sure.
All right, let me throw this at you and see how you feel, because we're already starting to shift the conversation to Oklahoma, is what it seems, and we'll hit the voicemail line in just a moment. 205-462-7340 extension 800. If you want to be involved in the program, leave us a voicemail. Yesterday, we got to talk to Ryan Grubb, Kane Womack, and Kalen DeBoer, and fine press conferences. But I'm going to be self-serving right here and talk about my question with Kane Womack. I'm going to ask you, does this make you nervous? The last time that he played, Ben Arbuckle, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma, Ben Arbuckle was not at Washington State with John Mateer. He was at Western Kentucky, and he played the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers played the South Alabama Jaguars in the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, and the Hilltoppers won 44-23.
That was with Clay Helton, and was that when what's his name, Daly Zappi was there?
No, this is Austin Reed,
okay.
Great Chicago Bear. Austin Reed is playing quarterback for the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Actually, he's not on the roster anymore, but he and Caleb Williams were apparently
the best for him.
Good buddies, right? Western Kentucky, 677 yards of offense, 522 through the air, 155 on the ground. Austin Reed was 37 of 56 with even throwing one interception. There were 6 of 13 on third downs. So South Alabama lost two turnovers. They threw 2 picks to Western Kentucky's 1, but gave up 677 yards of offense. It looks like they threw a little trick play here. Dalvin Smith was 1 of 1, 25 yards and a touchdown for Western Kentucky. So 5 passing touchdowns collectively between Austin Reed and Dalvin Smith. They ended up with running backs, multiple ball carriers, Marquis Stepp, 7 for 63. Davion Irvin Poindexter, 9 for 33. You had Michael Matheson, 1 for 31. Austin Reed scrambled around, 4 carries, 25 yards. No touchdowns on the ground. Malachi Corley's on that team, a New York Jet, right? 11 receptions, 114 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Malachi Corley. They had 3 different receivers go over 100 yards. Dalvin Smith, 6 for 145 and a touchdown. Jalen Hale, 9 for 138 and a touchdown. And we just mentioned Malachi Corley. You ended up, do we have, ESPN loses the defensive stats pretty much as the games go on in the archive. So I can't see if South Alabama generated any pressure on Austin Reed, but I'm going to guess no if you go out 497 yards passing to him, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Obviously, this game was many years ago. This game was what, 2022 bowl game of December 21.
Tyson Helton also, not Clay Helton.
Okay.
I think I get them confused.
2022. So many years ago, almost 3 years ago.
Yeah,
way different rosters, obviously. And the reason I wanted Kane Womack to be like, when I asked him about it, well, we had players in the portal and we had players not play and this, that, but he didn't even go there. He goes, I go, what do you remember about that game? What does Ben Arbuckle do very well? What are they doing at Oklahoma very well? And he goes, well, we got our bleep kick, so thanks for reminding me of that. And I was like, sorry, Coach. he goes, I needed an edge this morning, so thank you. I was like, okay, you're welcome.
Good stuff.
What do you make? The last time Kane Womack faced a Ben Arbuckle offense, 600 yards of offense. He allowed 600 yards of offense and 44 dadgum points. Yes, it's a bowl game, so they were probably just unloading the clip in a bowl game. What's your thoughts here?
It's worth noting that Western Kentucky team did average 37 points a game.
Okay.
Did average 350 yards a game. Austin Reed threw for almost 5,000 yards that season.
I mean, Austin Reed was a beast.
It was, it's a little indicative of the offense that they ran there. They did that to most teams that they played. They went 9-5 that year with a lot of massive wins. Am I a little concerned? Sure, because obviously it was even further like of an outlier than what they did to most teams this season.
Sure.
They beat them extra handily. So I'm sure there was a few wrinkles in there that, maybe got under Kane Womack missed and things like that led to some chunk yardage or some chunk plays for Western. But overall, no, I'm not super concerned. I think that was kind of what Western Kentucky did. That was just what they did to teams that season. They threw the ball a ton. Austin Reed, 603 pass attempts on the year. I think it's just that system. That was just the way that they did that to a lot of teams. I'm not super concerned. My level of concern is probably like a 5 out of 10 with that.
That system's coming to Tuscaloosa this weekend.
Sure.
With John Mateer, who's everybody loves.
A broke hand.
Yeah.
He's been fine the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, his numbers, I looked at it yesterday to try to see.
He struggled in that Texas game because he came back a wee bit too early, but I think he's perfectly fine now.
Yes, I think so too. You look through his game logs and it doesn't have a dramatic difference between injured and not injured. You've got that Texas game was not good. It was, see, there it is right there. Texas game, he was 20 of 38, 3 interceptions, 52% completion percentage for 202 yards. But basically his completion percentage pre-injury, 81% against Illinois State, 61 against Michigan, 58 against Temple, 66 against Auburn, and then injured. 52% against Texas, 69% against South Carolina, 55% against Ole Miss, okay, and 65% against Tennessee. So, you're getting – but this Tennessee game, your yards per attempt, horrible. Last week, 2 weeks ago, they had last week off, 159 yards total passing, 1 interception, no touchdowns. So, he did rush for a score. He rushed 16 times for 80 yards and a score. My man's got 306 yards rushing on the ground with 6 touchdowns for the season. John Mateer, quarterback, coming to Tuscaloosa. Let me go spin you back 1 week.
Sure.
Do you think the Alabama defensive performance against LSU was more about Alabama good or LSU bad? Garrett Nussmeier, got bottled up by a good defense, or Garrett Nussmeier just stinks and crumbled? Michael Van Buren just can't throw the football, stinks and crumbles.
probably more on LSU. You know, I mean, if we're just being objective here, I do think that the defense played really well, and like they forced them into a lot of uncomfortable situations and things. But Garrett Nussmeier still sucks. We went into this season. I never understood why everybody was so high on him this year.
Because he's a coach's kid, man.
Yeah, he's been bad.
His
He continues to be bad, and he will be bad.
His daddy's in the coaching fraternity, and so we take care of the son.
The LSU offense is not good at football. Their offensive line is bad. Their receivers are talented, but can't really do anything when their quarterback sucks. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I do think it's probably a little more about LSU being bad. That's what made Alabama look so good. But I do think Alabama, I think there's a lot to gain from that performance. Like, there's a lot of confidence that comes with a performance like that for the defense, regardless of what what caused it.
John Mateer, only 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions on the year. So that's a pretty surprisingly low number, in my opinion, for touchdown passes. Doesn't Ty have like 23, 24? Let me see. Ty at 21. 21 touchdowns, 1 interception.
So Ole Miss got after him a little bit.
Hotty toddy gosh almighty, who the heck are we? Pete Golding.
Yeah, 3 sacks. Defense had 6 tackles for loss. Is that the secret to messing with John Mateer? I mean, you said it is 17 of 31, not great. 1 touchdown on the day, 223 yards, which is fine, but like not an overly impressive performance in that losing effort to Ole Miss. Maybe that you just gotta find a way to get some pressure.
Call Pete up.
What'd you do this week, Pete?
Hey, Pete, come on, man. Give us a secret.
Oh, he would love to help Alabama. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, he would, I'm sure.
We all treated him so well.
That's right. Let me tell everybody about Purple Turtle Roofing. We'll hit the voicemail line, and we'll talk about one more aspect of Oklahoma before we get out of here for the day. We want to remind everybody that the program is brought to you by Purple Turtle Roofing. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we believe our work is about more than roofing. It's about service, stewardship, and sheltering what matters most. Our name may be unique, but it's deeply rooted in purpose and faith. The color purple, symbolizing Christ and royalty, reflects our founders' personal beliefs in striving for excellence and honoring a higher calling in all that we do. The turtle represents something that began as a simple idea, but quickly became a powerful symbol of strength, endurance, and divine guidance. At Purple Turtle Roofing, we specialize in residential roofing, commercial roofing, emergency storm repair, full roof replacement, and insurance claim support. You can call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635 for all of your roofing needs, or you can visit them online at roofturtle.com. Check them out online, see all the services that they provide, look at the beautiful roofs that they have redone, and give them a call today at 877-787-6635. They'll be able to come out, assess your roof, give you some ideas, give you some thoughts, and let you make an informed decision. We're going to be talking to Brax Garrison tomorrow right here on the program, and he's going to let us know all about the Purple Turtle Roofing Company and everything that they've got going on. We're also going to talk some football with Brax Garrison. I'm really looking forward to that. But we encourage you to call Purple Turtle Roofing at 877-787-6635. Roofing with heart, built to last. All right, Mason Woods, let's keep it going right here on the program by hitting up some voicemails. I know that the Robert has got a voicemail for us, and I know that Everett, excuse me, goodness gracious. I was like, who was the other voicemail that I loaded? Robert has a voicemail for us. I'm not quite sure what it is, but Everett said, I have a voicemail for Mason about Oklahoma. So we'll see what he's got to say. This is the voicemail line, 205-462-7340, extension 800.
Robert Brookwood, great game. Wasn't what I expected. It was kind of ugly, but hey, anytime you get a win against LSU, it's great. I have been getting on to people for the last few months about they constantly call in Ryan's show or say here on your show that we have no running game, and I remind them that in the fourth quarter of every game, we find a running game enough to move the chains. This Saturday night, we didn't have one. I'm starting to get a little concerned. I don't know if it's the O-line. I'm starting to think it's Jam Miller. I don't know if he needs glasses. He's not finding the hole. But we've got to get some sort of semblance of a running game. It doesn't have to be like the Nick Saban years, 250 yards a game. But if we could get 130 to 150 yards a game, this offense would open up more. But if we don't, we're not going to win a championship, SEC or national. We could make the playoffs. I don't know, but we've got to start doing a little better. The passing game was off a little bit the other night, but we could have scored more. So, I mean, we're winning. Defense looks great. They're A+. Offense, I'll still give them a B+. Great show, guys. Thank you.
Robert from Brookwood right there talking about the running game. Is it Jam Miller, Mason Woods? If you swap Jam out.
Like, I mean, I just said it a minute ago. Like, I don't think it's a run. I don't think a new running back is fixing this issue. I think it begins with your offensive line. You have to either get some guys in that are actually athletic and can move and have good footwork and can get out of their stance and can use a low pad level and can play the position correctly, or you're just going to keep treading water or what you got.
William Sanders, we need you bad. We need you to get your strength up by 5%.
Yeah.
Because I think William Sanders plays with really good pad level.
Yeah, that's what you're missing. I think it's an offensive line problem.
I think Parker Brailsford plays with good pad level, but is just a little bit light.
Yeah,
just
probably.
A little bit. It's like this weird dichotomy. Either the player, whichever offensive lineman, plays with good pad level and is too light, or the player is too heavy and plays with poor pad level, way too high. And it's like you can't find the balance in between them. And Robert's right. I mean, that's basically what Theo and I debated yesterday, Mason, so I'll get your question. If the running game stays exactly as it is, mid to, not so hot, can this team win a championship, SEC or national championship?
You can win the SEC still. I feel confident enough in Ty Simpson's ability to go beat Texas A&M. You're not beating Ohio State, though. Ohio State is the measuring stick. Like that's who we're stacking up. That's who we're measuring against here. I know that a lot of Alabama fans, myself included, don't really have much love for the Buckeyes up there in Ohio, but like that is the measuring stick this year. That is the top dog. That's who you're trying to beat. That's the best team in the country. I don't think Alabama, with the current as you know, if season ends right now, we go into the playoff. You're not beating Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
You might beat Texas A&M though.
Got to figure it out. Let's keep going here. Robert from Brookwood, thank you so much for the call. Love all your interaction. And the Panthers didn't have a horrible year. The Panthers made some strides this year. Brookwood Panthers. This season.
Like Carolina Panthers. Yeah, they're okay. They're 5-4, I think.
No, Brookwood made a couple strides. They broke a huge losing streak, and got themselves, I think, 2 or 3 wins. Let me see what the real website has. Obviously, they did not make the playoffs, but they ended up with 3 wins. Yeah, beat West Blockton, beat Chilton County, and into the year with a big old win over Paul Bryant. So 3 wins was a big market improvement after not winning a single game last year.
Been there.
That's a hard year. That's hard.
About week 5, you really start to set in like, oh man, we're really not going to win one, are we?
But the Panthers got 3 this year, and so they'll hopefully get a couple of more, even more next year. So appreciate it. Robert from Brookwood calling us on the voicemail line, 205-462-7340, extension 800. We'll keep it going with Everett. Everett that said he was calling for you, Mason.
Hey guys, it's Everett from Marion. I love y'all's show. Question for Mason and question for Joe. If the offense does not get on track Saturday, can Alabama's defense keep Alabama into the ballgame? And looking forward to y'all's show. Thank you very much. And roll Tide, roll Bama, of course. Bye.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Everett. At Mason Woods, if the offense doesn't get on track, can Kano Olmec and his defense keep the Crimson Tide hanging around in the game?
I think so. I've only really got I'm trying to pull up here exactly how many times John Mateer's been sacked this season. Of course, ESPN doesn't want to give me that information right at my fingertips. But Ole Miss was able to get after him. I think other teams have been able to get after him a bit this year. I imagine Alabama has a decent chance to get after him in this game a bit, get you 1 or 2 sacks maybe.
Oklahoma has allowed 20 sacks on the season, so they are
not bad.
They are 10th in the conference. So Auburn is last in the conference at 39, Auburn 39, South Carolina 34, Mississippi State 32, Arkansas and Oklahoma, Kentucky and Missouri all tied at 20.
So I think you have an opportunity to get after the quarterback a bit in this game. This is a chance where, similar to like you had against LSU now, John Mateer, I think, is a good bit more athletic than Garrett Nussmeier is and will be able to wiggle and weave out of those situations a little easier than he will. He probably won't, spin into a 20-yard sack like Garrett Nussmeier did. But I think you'll be able to get after him nonetheless. So, yeah, I think Alabama's defense can step up and similar to how they did this past weekend, kind of, secure a victory for them. Maybe not actually be the one that gets the points, but keep the other team from coming back and winning it.
Yeah, for you had a 2-game streak where Alabama's defense put up a touchdown. Tennessee and Missouri getting a touchdown. This would be a great week.
Look, you could definitely get, I know that the one Texas game is a bit of an outlier for John Mateer, but like
Hook 'em.
he still throws some interceptions. The guy's he's gonna put the ball into some dangerous spots.
7 on the year was a lot higher than
only 8 touchdowns this year.
Right. I don't know that the offense is as electric as the general perception is. And I'm going to be watching Oklahoma pretty much the rest of the day and the rest of the week after we talk to some players. Going to reach out to an Oklahoma writer pretty soon to see if we can't get somebody on.
You got to figure out what Ole Miss did.
Hotty toddy, gosh almighty.
They did something.
That's right. So we'll see if the defense can keep them in there. I am fairly concerned that Ben Arbuckle might have Kane Womack's number, but new players, new personnel, new place, new scenario this weekend. It's not the RNL New Orleans Bowl. You never know. Maybe South Alabama was enjoying Bourbon Street too much that week.
You never know.
Yeah, that's right. All right, I got one more topic, Mason, on the Oklahoma game, and it involves the red zone. If you haven't seen this yet, Oklahoma has had, 28 red zone trips this year. How many times do you think that they have put up points in those 28 trips?
Okay, well, there's one of two reasons you're telling me this stat, and it's because it's either shockingly low or shockingly high. And my gut tells me that it's shockingly low.
Ooh, how about it shockingly high? 28 trips. 28 trips to the red zone, 28 scores.
Wow.
14 touchdowns, and then 14 touchdowns and 14 field goals. 7 passing touchdowns. Excuse me. No, that's not right. 28 red zone attempts, red zone rushing touchdowns, 14. Yeah, that's right. Red zone rushing touchdowns, 14. Red zone passing touchdowns, 7. Red zone field goals, 7. So you've scored 21 touchdowns on 28 tries, and every other attempt, you've kicked a field goal. You are one of 2 teams, the Oklahoma Sooners and the Eastern Michigan. They're not the Spartans. Eastern Michigan Redhawks, maybe? No, I don't know what they are. Eastern Michigan is the other team that has a perfect red zone record on 31 trips. 9 games, 28 trips to the red zone, 28 scores. Now, go to the other side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Red zone defense. Let me click on it to make sure I have it right. Yep. Red zone defense. Where does Alabama rank nationally in red zone defense?
Pretty good, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dang good, I would think. Top 10?
That's fine. I went to rushing. Red zone defense. I went to rushing defense. That's not what I want. Yeah, top 10 is correct. They are number 1 in the SEC. They're number 8 overall. They have allowed 24 trips to the red zone in 9 games. In those 24 trips to the red zone, they have allowed 8 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns. So that's 11 touchdowns and 6 field goals. So on 24 trips to the red zone, they've given up 17 scores, with 6 of them being field goals. They're 8th in the conference. So you're not really letting people get to the red zone that much. You are 8th in the conference or 8th in the country in allowing teams into the red zone. But then your touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, you have given up 8, and several teams have given up a couple fewer. Ohio State, just 3. Your passing touchdowns, you've only given up 3 passing touchdowns in the red zone, and then the rest you've held them to field goals. So the defense has been bend but don't break. We might let you get to the red zone. We'll play you in between from 20 to 20 yard line, and you might bust off a big play. But once you get to the 20, or once you get really to about the 30, we'll start buckling down. What gives on Saturday? Alabama's rushing defense, red zone defense, or Oklahoma's red zone offense? Because you've got 2 competing forces against each other.
An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. I truly am torn on which way to go here. I'm going to ride with the Alabama defense. I think the Alabama defense breaks the Oklahoma red zone offense and forces them into some uncomfortable situation, holds them to some field goals, forces some turnovers maybe in the red zone. That's what I'm going to go with. I think the Bama defense just has a little bit of juice about them lately. They've been playing good. They've been getting after the quarterback some, been actually finishing on some plays where previously they have not. I think we maybe continue to see that this weekend.
Yeah, you get that Bama defense with their backs to the student section.
Kane Womack is still thinking about that question you asked him. He's pissed.
Coach, it wasn't personal, but I hope you are. I hope you are.
He woke up this morning thinking about it.
I'm not going to apologize.
He told his wife about it.
If it, try to be objective here, but if that's the trick that gets
he got
him
home last night, he said, "You're not going to believe this. I haven't thought about that game in years."
Coach, you should. That should have been the only tape you watched all weekend long after the game. Dang it. That Ben Arbuckle, he got us.
This is the worst night of my career.
It might have been. I don't know the rest of the South Alabama tenure, but it might have been. But yeah, I'm not going to apologize for that because I don't think it was out of balance.
No, it's a valid question. It's a good question. I think he was certainly not expecting it, and that's probably why you got the reaction you did.
He goes, "Oh, we got our ass kicked," and he smirked at me. He goes, "I needed an edge this morning, so thank you."
Either that, or he did go in thinking, "Man, I hope somebody doesn't ask about that damn game," and he knew in the back of his head, one of these reporters is going to do it. And he was dreading having an answer.
Well, I'm just sitting there typing, Googling, like, what can we ask? Should I ask, "Hey, Coach, what do you see in John Mateer? Hey, Coach."
Yeah. No, that's a good question.
It's like, well, offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle, where did he come from? Oh, Western Kentucky. I wonder if they ever played South Alabama. Years matchup. Oh, one time. Not good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still angry about that question.
Good.
I hope it is. I hope it's carrying over into practice
I hope he told Deontay about it.
Yeah, I hope he did too.
I hope he told Deontay and Tim Keenan about it.
And
Bray Hubbard.
Don't embarrass me out there.
Yeah, I hope he does for real. Yeah, I've got confidence in the defense in the red zone. I mean, they've been doing it all year long. You've played some stellar offenses.
I think that's exactly right. Like, they've done it against teams that are on par.
So we'll see what happens, but I think that might be your, look back to the Tennessee game. Tennessee's offense was really, really good going into the game, and still really good offense. Tennessee got down to the red. Were they 2 of 5 in the red zone?
That's what it was. Yeah.
So you got down there 5 times, but you threw a pick six. Boom, 14-point swing. You went for it on 4th down at the end of the game. You didn't get it at least. I think
there was a third one. I
think they were 2 of 5. It might have been 3 of 5, but regardless, but Alabama's offense the other way was pretty efficient. Let me refresh this and search Oklahoma real quick. Red zone defense, Control F, Oklahoma. Oh my gosh, not in the top 50 of red zone defense. Okay, what about you? Are you in the top 100? Oklahoma. Yeah, right there. 66 in red zone defense. They have allowed 19 trips to the red zone. They have given up. No, it's not. They've given up two rushing scores, six passing scores. So 8 touchdowns and 8 field goals. So 16 red zone scores in 19 trips. If you get down there, that's pretty tough too.
Say, like, I know that technically they're not in the but like, that's still good.
That's still pretty tough. That's still
pretty good.
Red zone offense. Let's look at Alabama's red zone offense. Red zone offense right there. Bam. Because Alabama's, you got to be pretty high, right? We're finishing drives. Yeah, they're right there. 16th. Alabama been to the red zone 38 times. Because you don't have any daggum big plays at all. 38 times, 8 rushing scores, 20 passing scores, and 7 field goals. So 35 times you scored on 38 trips.
It's pretty dang efficient. Would like to see the run and pass split maybe flipped, but touchdown is a touchdown is a touchdown.
Getting in the end zone. So I think, just a philosophical tangent. But people have been all on Kane Womack's rear end for the last year and a half now. But I don't think they understand the way defense is played anymore. How it's changed to we're playing for a turnover. We're playing to give up. You're not trying to give up any yardage.
Yeah.
But you get yards from the 20 to the 20. It's okay. When the field gets condensed, that's when we can really make our plays and really affect the quarterback. I think Ken Wallach's been pretty dadgum good in his time at Alabama. Yeah, you'd like to see the rushing yards, a little lower. You'd like to see your run fits a little better, but I think he's been pretty daggum good.
I think so too. And it's not like he had bad players or anything like this. The players have been at Alabama have always been great. Don't get me wrong. But they weren't necessarily the ones that he recruited to play in the system that he coaches either. A lot of them, and still, it kind of continues to be that way. Like, I don't know that you can really make an opinion super staunchly one way or the other when the guy has barely even gotten in one recruiting class of players that he handpicked for his defense.
So we'll see what happens on Saturday. Good red zone offenses on both sides, and one really good red zone defense and one pretty good red zone defense. So I think that's where the game's going to be won and lost. That's all I got today for us, Mason, unless you want to go at a different tangent or cry about the Titans, or who do y'all have this week?
That's a fantastic question.
It doesn't even matter. Another loss on the schedule.
Hopefully. Oh, dear God, the Texans.
Oh, yeah.
All right, how many sacks will Will Anderson have on Sunday? 2.5?
Yeah. Will
2.5.
Anderson.
Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter combined for 6 as a pair.
Single-handedly beat the Jaguars, is what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
From the highlights.
Yeah, had that strip sack or strip. Was it a fumble or
something like that?
I can't remember if it was the quarterback's lead tackle or if it was a running. Either way, had the forced fumble there at the end. Yeah. That's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a bad game. It's going to be an ugly game. I imagine it will be very low scoring. Probably we're probably looking at like a 17-3 kind of game, but it will be very, very decidedly the Texans' victory.
What do you make as we finish up here? What do you make of? I don't want to call it beef because it's not necessarily beef, but the drama that's brewed between Terry and Arnold, Patrick Surtain, and Damian Harris, and now Clinton Dix is getting in on it.
Yeah.
You've got so if anybody's not living on the internet like we are, Pat Surtain and Terry and Arnold have a little podcast, and they're talking in this particular clip about the green mouthpieces and about how. Was it Brian Branch was wearing them or somebody?
Branch,
yeah.
It was a whole group of DBs.
Bo Scarborough comes in and was like talking to the team and green's not our color. Why y'all wearing this?
Mm-hmm.
Making a big deal of it. And instead of the team saying, "Yeah, Bo, you're the man. We'll stop wearing it. We'll wear white or crimson or black or whatever." Bryce Young said, "Hey, we're all going to wear the green mouthpieces to kind of yeah back in Bo Scarborough's face." And they're all laughing about it on the podcast, and ultimately the team didn't make the playoff that year. And Damian Harris is like, yeah, that's what goes on the internet and like basically posts his comment. That's why I don't go. That's why I don't go back to the facility and talk to these players because they don't respect us. They don't listen to us.
Is that why you don't come back, Damian?
Basically, these young boys don't respect what we've done.
Look, I don't know Damian Harris. I've met him one time in my life, and it was in passing on a bus going to class when I was a student. He was not the kindest person in that short interaction that we had, but whatever. I do not get the general vibe that he's all that well liked around these parts.
I don't know either.
From the I'm talking about from the players in that facility, in that Malmo facility. I have never really understood that Damian Harris is somebody that people are clamoring to have come back to campus anyway. Now, I don't know.
Clinton Dix went out there and was like, that's not the vibe, man. You got to come back. We want you back. We want you to talk.
It might be that way with other people. Look, I don't know Damian Harris. Like, I am walking on eggshells here. I think people don't like him. I think he comes off like a bit of a, I'm better than you, whatever. And I think he rubs people the wrong way. And I imagine that probably contributes as to why people do not want him around in the Malmore facility, more so than, well, he's just an old head.
Well, the phrase that he hung on to was, Bo Scarborough or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
And it's like
they didn't play together, man. They're not friends.
Right. Sometimes when people talk to me and I'm just talking about that interaction, is it John Smith or John whatever? You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's a very
you remember
normal
him?
Thing. Yeah, I think Damian Harris is just being weirdly in his feels about this. I don't know what his issue is.
You a green mouthpiece guy or do you care?
I don't give a damn. Who cares?
I don't care what color the mouthpiece is.
Just only have one of them.
Just put it in your mouth.
I don't even care about that. Just only wear one. I'm sick of seeing two and then one stuck in the top of the helmet.
That's weird. Yes.
But yeah, I could care less what color mouthpiece.
Stick it in your mouth, bite down on it, and get ready to hit somebody.
I think Damian Harris is. I don't know. He's made a bit of a brand for himself of talking down on the
zigging.
Current, yes, he seems to. I think that's just his MO a bit.
Maybe a little bit. You want me to reach out to Damian, see if we can get him on?
That's okay.
Why not? We'll see what he's up to. I mean, all he can say is no.
We can get Tyrion on.
I'd love Tyrion.
I'd rather have him on.
Porque no los dos. Why not
we'll
both?
have a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
We won't tell him though.
Surprise! Hey, Tyrion, do you know who this guy is? Damian Harris or whatever his name is.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just think it's I just think it's dumb. Damian Harris, go be on TV and do your own thing. Quit talking about kids. So that's my take.
All right, bet. Well, I'll shoot them both a DM and see if they want to come on at any time.
You seen this? I saw this right as we were just doing the show a few minutes ago. Auburn's ever intriguing quarterback situation here as the season dwindles down. Ashton Daniels, are they gonna have to bench him so that he can play next year? Because this is his 4th year of college.
Oh dang! No, we're turning it over to Deuce Knight.
Is Deuce Knight going to do that? Somebody's losing their red shirt.
Right. Jackson Arnold's playing the rest of the season. Or Ashton Daniels, whoever. They're going to stick with those two guys.
You can't play Ashton Daniels, though. He can't play in any more games because you need him to be able to try to win the job next year.
Oh, who cares about next year? We'll bring in somebody. It's Deuce Knight's job.
It's Deuce
Knight in a trash can.
They got a dilemma there on the Plains. You got a 4th year quarterback who has looked pretty decent. I mean, comparatively, and you want to potentially have him with a chance to
couldn't put up any points against Kentucky.
Start next year again, and I don't know what they're going to do. I'm very interested to see how this weekend how the rest of the season plays out for Auburn.
Yeah, they're off this weekend,
yeah.
And they got Mercer next. So it's basically the season's over except for the Iron Bowl.
But Ashton Daniels has already played in 3 games.
So he's playing in the Iron Bowl, and that's going to be it for him.
Doesn't that lose his red shirt, though, if you compete in a 4th?
You can play in 4.
You can? Okay.
Yeah. I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I saw some discussion about it on Twitter this morning. It was like, boy, oh boy.
We need to go
more problems over there.
We need to get to the rule where those FCS games don't count against the red shirt rule.
I think that would actually be great.
So, all right, we're getting out of here. We're going to go talk to some players right here in the Balmore Athletic Facility. We had a lot of fun with you guys today. Thank you for Everett and for Robert from Brookwood calling in on the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. Big thanks to you guys. Big thanks to Purple Turtle Roofing for sponsoring the program. We'll be having Brax Garrison come into the show tomorrow, and he's going to give us his expertise. Former quarterback for County High, former quarterback for the Gordo Green Wave, and played at Jones College as well. So he's going to give us some former player analysis of this football team and maybe of this running game. We will get ready tomorrow for we'll get ready Thursday for the Purdue game. We'll look at KenPom, what they have to say about that. I'll be watching Oklahoma. I'll be watching Purdue's last little bit of basketball and trying to get educated on these next couple of games. You guys can find us at Joe Gaither 6 at MA_Woods_ on the Twitter machine at BamaCentral. We will talk to you tomorrow right here on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com.